Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. This week we are going to take a deep dive into the NSR 908 that was prepped by our buddy Greg Kessler from the Spirit of America team. We're going to share all the speed secrets. So guys, this showed up in the mail a few weeks ago and I kind of was blown away. It was a gift from the Spirit of America team, and this was a car that they prepped for the race. They didn't end up racing this car, but it did make the trip. It did get some practice time, and Greg tells me that it was a pretty quick car. Well, I've had it out of the box. I thought it was going to be a shelf queen, but I just couldn't help myself. I already knew that it had run some laps. So I the track, ran a few laps. Really good. Now, it is the middle of the summer. It's kind of a little humid down here in the basement. Not too bad, but I've noticed that the track times have been really slow this summer. When I do get out there, I'm not breaking the 7-second barrier with very many cars. There may be one or two, and that's probably because they're running a 25K motor or whatever. But this is a legal for the WRE 24-hour race sponsored by NSR. That was in Naples, Italy. And this car is a beautiful. One, it's got the Spirit of America livery. Second is I know the guys that tune these things, and they build really, really fast, easy to drive cars. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to open it up. We're going to throw it on the track, run some laps, show you some times. But we're going to see if we can figure out if there are any speed secrets and share them. So let's go to the other camera. Let's dig in and take a look. So here we go. The Spirit of America. It's in a Lola box, but it is an NSR 908. And go ahead and take it off the base. Get that out of the way. Let's get our setup block out so we can kind of take a look at the setup. So let me get you close so you can take a look at the livery. Just how sharp is this car? Fantastic. It's got the Cloverleaf Racing. Shout out to Mike. He was a big part of helping this team get over there and prep cars. And the guys at Host, I believe this is Paul Brott's Professor Motor. So shout out to Oliver and their help. And then Slot Car Corner was a major sponsor of the number 65. And kind of some of the same over here on the front corner. We have NSR and we have the Spirit of America logo. So as you can see, fantastic car. Greg killed it on the livery. The stars, the red, white, and blue. Fantastic. I have put some laps on it. I just want to point out that it still has the roll bar and the mirror. Now, I don't know for how long, but so this is the stock, the black chassis. It is running the black motor pod. Now, we heard Andre, if we remember my video where we talked to Andrea at the NSR Nationals, the Eastern Nationals, he said that they really like the black motor pod for plastic track. It looks like we're using the NSR brass shanked screws for both the pod and the body. And if I'm looking, I think the body screws are the smaller head screw. And I don't know those part numbers right off the top of my head. Wait, maybe I do. The part number 4836 and part number 4834. They're both 2.2 by 8 millimeter, but one has a smaller stem. The 4834 has a smaller stem diameter at 1.9. Okay. These are quick slicks from the Eastern Nationals. So basically, Greg has put this car back together, and he put silicones on this that are for the Eastern Nationals. So thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. If we look at the fronts, Trude, not much tire. Mainly that is for saving weight. And if you look at the setup, you can see that basically the wheels spin free, but they do not touch the track. And what we find is, and you can see right out on the edge, when that car enters the turn, that is where it's touching, not the fronts. Okay. Now this does have a light kit, which is fantastic, but that is the body float in the front. I mean, that's probably 2 millimeters in the front. And the rear body float is not as much up and down, maybe a 0.5 millimeter, maximum 1 millimeter in the rear, but lots of float in the front. If we hold the chassis and we look at the pod has got some movement left to right. You can see how much that is. But it is tighter here, which allows it to pivot. But it doesn't have a lot of up and down float. Just a little bit. I'm trying to hold the chassis so you can actually see. Not a ton, but slightly. Okay. So that's the chassis setup. That's the front setup. Fronts are all the way up and off the track. Now, it has a light kit. I don't know how excited I am about taking this apart because it's running really good. And the chances of me getting those screws where they need to be are slim to none. Now, take a close look at the braid. And that's the braid setup. So you can see it's got some curl to it. This is running the standard NSR guide. The feedback that we got is the wood guide is great, but does cause some friction in the turns along the track pieces. And so everybody was running the standard guide at the race. All right, we'll take it apart. It looks like we are about 1 3/4 turn on the rear. 2 turns from tight on the front. As you can see, it has a light kit. Nice job with the wires. The light kit is tied in at the guide. The kit is glued down. It's running the pink gear. Let me see if I can tell. Looks like a 12 tooth pinion with the pink gear. Greg, I hope this is okay that I'm sharing this information. No weight. So let's put it back together and get it on track. All right, guys, here we are at the track. A little different camera angle tonight for this video. I'm going to be running the red lane, which normally I test a car in the white lane, but I really need to run some laps, more laps in the red lane because Dusty's kicking my butt in the red lane. So let's clean the tires. So now tires are clean, silicones, red lane. The Spirit of America 908. I'm running the DS PHN1 controller, and let's just see what kind of lap time we get, and then maybe we'll compare it to my 908 that I know I have tuned to the same spec that Greg has tuned this. Only I tuned it versus Greg. Now, I do think there will be a little difference. Like I said, my gearing is probably, I think it's an 11-tooth pinion. This is a 12-tooth pinion. On this track, I think that the gearing might be a little better to get through those S-turns. That's kind of my guess, that it's potentially my car. The only difference is pinion. It's running the same spur, the pink spur gear, 11-tooth pinion versus a 12-tooth pinion. Super tires on my 908, the NSR silicone, I'm sorry, the Eastern Nationals required silicones from Quick Slicks, the red compound. And we found that that red compound was not quite as grippy. The track was pretty slick with those. So maybe we'll test it against that. Maybe we'll test it against my Lola. All of those have been tuned very similar to what Greg did with this car. So let's just see what we get. Oh man, the light kit just looks so good. And that is one other difference, is the light kit. We do know, based from the WRE, that there were complaints that the light kit pulled from the car. It pulled some power from the motor, and it impacted lap times by a tenth or two per lap. Okay. Yeah, dirty tires. Yeah, track is not super clean, but as long as every car gets a fair shake, we should be fine. Oh yeah, super smooth. This car is like butter, guys. Greg does a great job of breaking in motors and his gearing, and it's nice and smooth and quiet, as you can probably can't tell on camera. And so we get a few good laps in here. It is a little, like what I predicted, a little squirrely in the S-turns. I can't get quite the speed through that I know that I can get with my other 908, and that might be all gearing. Just that one tooth in the pinion might make a big difference. But we'll run it just to see how it compares, because I know I followed Greg's instructions on that tune. Oh, what a great looking car. Drives great. Okay, so here we go. Okay, let's look at some lap times with the Spirit of America car. 7061, 7082, 7134 are the top 3 times out of 16 laps. So we are just about there to break the 7-second barrier. The track is a little slow tonight. Not gonna lie, just like it was on the live stream last week, that when Dusty and John Mark were here. Getting under 7 seconds was pretty tough. So let's compare this to my 908. And again, the gear, no lights, and super tires. So no change in the settings on the DS PHN1. And man, that car sounds a lot different, and just like I thought, it gets through the S turns just a little faster, and that hairpin. And there was a 6.9. Okay, so it's about a tenth faster. That was a 6.9 flat. That was a quick lap. And so I think that is all gearing and no light kit. So I think they really need to look at that rule for next year. You either run the light kit or you don't run the light kit. And if your light kit's not working, then you need to pull the car off and repair it during the race. Let's make sure that we be consistent with the rules. 6900, 6966. We'll run one more lap. 7102. See, it's already starting to fall off a little bit. This is one of my fastest stock cars. I know that this is a fast car, and so it's right there. The Spirit of America. Let's run the Lola. Let's see where it's at. Prediction, maybe 7.2s. I think the Lola. The one thing about the Lola is not quite for me. It's not quite as planted as these two 908s. Those two 908s, you saw I ran off some laps. Not very many D slots. They don't mess around, but my Lola is nice and quiet and smooth. I really love driving this thing, but it's a little tail happy. John Albright will tell you that that's how I like my cars. Well, I just ran a 715. So it's right there with the Spirit of America car. Again, 7140. If I could get that tail to stay right behind that car, 7085, that car's got a chance too. So there we go. They're all right there together. So there you have it. Some great fast laps. This car is so much fun to drive. And I think that on a bigger track, this is going to beat my other two cars. I think those cars are tuned for this track specifically. This car is tuned for a little bigger track, and it shows. You know, how it drove for me tells me that a little bigger straightaways, some things this car is going to be great on that track. So the Eastern Nationals track, this is probably the setup. So good stuff. Guys, we don't know all the other details that Greg put into this car, but I do know that he poured a lot of energy and effort into all the cars that those guys tuned for that race. And I'm super humbled that they would give me this car and send it to me. I will cherish it, but I couldn't make it a shelf queen. It's gotta hit the track. It's gotta run laps. So that's just what we do around here. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions about this car or any tuning, hit me in the comments. We'd love to talk about it. Show up on Tuesday night for the live stream. That would be great. And then a big channel announcement. This channel has a sponsor, and the sponsorship is Pamela from Super Tires. She reached out to me and asked if it would be okay if she would be a channel sponsor, and what would that look like. And I told her, I said, you know, I'm super proud of my channel, and I'm humbled that you'd want to be a part of what we're doing on Tuesday nights and my videos. And I said, I don't know. It would be great just to partner with you, because I think you have a great product. It's a product that we use every day on my track, in our club. And to kick it off, we are going to be giving a prize pack away every Tuesday night for the next couple months. So if you show up in the chat and make a comment in the chat, then you will be eligible to win. If you make the live stream. So make sure that you throw your hat out in the ring by making a comment. I know I've got a lot of people that watch but don't comment. YouTube does not show me that. But if you comment in the live stream chat during the live stream while it's live, at the end of each live stream, I will pull a random name, and you will get, this is the 30th anniversary for Super Tires, 2025. And we're going to have Pamela on one of the live streams to talk about the history of Super Tires and her dad, Nick, and his passion for slot cars, and how her and her husband are continuing that. So I'm humbled that they'd want to be a part of what we're doing here. I'm happy that that they want to do that, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you guys that support this channel a chance to win some prizes, and I think you get some super tire decals, and she'll send you like 3 sets of tires for the cars of your choice. That's what she told me in an email today. So Pamela, I hope it's okay that I announce this at the end of the video, but I'm really excited about it, and I think we are very similar in our beliefs, and that's one of the reasons they wanted to partner with me. But they believe in what I'm doing, and they believe in this community that's here with Two Lines, and I couldn't be more proud. So thank you, guys. Go out and support Super Tires. They support my channel, and go to your favorite retailer that carries them. Bruce at Cincy Slots. That's where I get my Super Tires for our cars, and but you can get them at other retailers. So pick your favorite retailer, order your Super Tires, and help support them, because they really do pour their heart out for the hobby. It's important. So thanks, appreciate it, Pamela. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting Two Lines slot cars and the live stream on Tuesday nights. So moving forward, that's great. So thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified anytime I put out new content. It's exciting times in the hobby. We're starting to get towards the end of summer, and before you know it, it'll be race season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So guys, go out there and have some fun racing.